The human being, said Nietzsche, is a rope stretched between the beast and the overman, a line suspended over an abyss. It is not a comfortable image. It does not speak of safety or certainty, but of instability, of risk, of vertigo. And yet, it might be the most honest portrait of what we are, not finished, not fixed, but something in between, something becoming. We often mistake ourselves for complete beings, settled identities with clear borders, firm beliefs, fixed meanings. But that is illusion. What we really are is a tension, a movement, a bridge. Between what? Between instinct and transcendence, between chaos and order, between matter and spirit, between who we've been and who we might become. This rope we walk is thin and trembling. To one side, the pull of our animal nature, impulses, desires, fear. On the other, the call of the beyond, meaning, transformation, the unknown. We often pretend we don't feel this tension. We fill our lives with distractions, conveniences, narratives. But the abyss remains, quiet, open, inside us. Because the abyss is not just out there, it is the distance between what we are now and what we could be. It is the space where change happens, where identity dissolves, and something new may emerge. Nietzsche did not say the rope was over safe ground. He placed it over the abyss, because growth is dangerous. Becoming something new always involves letting go of what we've been, and that frightens us. So many of us cling to one side or the other. Some fall back into the beast, seduced by comfort, by consumption, by the easy pleasures of instinct. Others try to leap into the ideal too quickly, bypassing the messy work of becoming. But the rope demands balance. It asks us not to run, but to walk, step by trembling step, without knowing if we'll make it across. To live in the tension, to remain awake, to resist both regression and escape. There is no safety here, but there is honesty, there is depth, there is life. Because the rope is not punishment, it is possibility. The abyss does not open to swallow us, but to reveal how far we can go, how high we can rise, and perhaps how deeply human we are when we stop trying to escape the in-between. When we accept that the journey is not from beast to God, but the eternal dance between the two. To walk the rope is to embrace uncertainty. It is to move without guarantees, without final answers, without the comfort of knowing what awaits at the other side, if there even is another side. And that perhaps is the hardest part. We are creatures addicted to control. We want maps, instructions, systems. We crave direction more than truth. We would rather follow a lie that feels solid than face a truth that dissolves under our feet. But the path of the rope allows no such luxury. It invites us to look down, to feel the abyss, to understand that falling is always a possibility, and that walking anyway is what gives the journey meaning. This is not about becoming a superior human in any narcissistic sense. Nietzsche's Übermensch, the overman, is not an ideal of dominance or perfection. It is a vision of someone who has integrated the beast without being consumed by it. Someone who creates meaning in a world where old meanings have collapsed. Someone who walks the rope not because they are certain, but because they are courageous. To walk is to accept the death of old identities. It's the death of the obedient child who only follows, the death of the comfortable adult who clings to what is known, the death of the mask we wear for others, the mask we mistake for ourselves, and from those deaths something new is born. Not once, not twice, but again and again. Because walking the rope is not a one-time journey. It is a way of living, a constant state of openness, of risk, of becoming. We are not finished. And the moment we think we are, we begin to rot. There is a deep kind of freedom in that realization. It means we don't have to pretend. We don't have to have everything figured out. We're allowed to change, to fail, to evolve. The rope does not demand perfection. It only asks us to keep walking. Even when the winds rise, even when the void whispers, even when our legs tremble with fear, because each step is a choice to live. Not just to exist, but to live fully, with all the danger, the beauty, the uncertainty that life contains. And that might be the real courage. Not conquering the world, but walking the fragile thread of existence with open eyes and a steady heart. We begin as animals, driven by hunger, fear, desire, bound to instinct, to reaction, to survival. This is not a judgment, only a fact. To be human is to carry the beast within, to know its strength, to taste its temptations, to hear its growl beneath the surface of thought. But what makes us more than animal is not the denial of instinct. It is the ability to hold it in awareness, to look at our impulses and say, I see you, I feel you, but I choose differently. And sometimes we don't choose differently. Sometimes we lash out, we escape, we deceive, we regress, we fall. And that too is part of the rope. Because the rope is not a ladder to heaven. It does not promise escape from the human condition. It offers a confrontation with everything we are and with everything we could be. The beyond man, Nietzsche's Übermensch, is not a destination. It's not a status we achieve and display like a trophy. It is a direction, a process of self-overcoming, a constant unfolding. It means we are always standing between the beast and the God, always holding both in tension,
always being torn and made whole by the paradox of our own existence. There is no final point of arrival, no state of eternal enlightenment where struggle disappears. Because the moment we stop struggling, we fall asleep again. And sleep is the end of becoming. To stay awake is painful. It means seeing clearly what we would rather ignore. It means confronting our shadows, our lies, our fears. But it also means seeing beauty more vividly. It means laughing from the depths, loving with presence, creating with fire. The abyss does not only contain terror, it also contains truth, and sometimes even light. But we can only see it if we dare to walk through, to stop clinging, to stop pretending, to stop waiting for safety that never comes, and instead to step forward, one trembling foot at a time.
Not everyone dares to walk the rope. Most stay at the edge. Some turn back toward comfort, toward the familial call of the animal life, where questions are fewer and answers come quickly. Others sit in silence, watching the abyss, but never entering it, paralyzed by the fear of what they might lose. But some choose the dangerous path, not because they are fearless, but because they know that staying still is a slower kind of death. They walk not with certainty, but with sincerity. They fall and get up. They question everything, especially themselves. They burn in the fires of their own illusions, and from the ashes they begin again. This is not a hero's journey in the conventional sense. There are no medals, no applause, no gods waiting at the end. Only clarity, only presence, only a deepening silence within, where fear no longer drives and desire no longer blinds, where the rope becomes less of a danger and more of a dance. The man who becomes the bridge does not escape his humanity. He embraces it so fully that he dissolves its limits. He lets go of identity and becomes movement, becomes question, becomes space for the unknown. He is not a preacher, nor a prophet, nor a saint. He is the trembling step over the abyss. He is the courage to fall and the will to rise again. And maybe that's all we can be. Not answers, not arrivals, but the rope itself, stretched between what is and what could be. And in that stretch, we find our meaning, even if the void never answers back.